Hello, people. So we are back. The YouTube channel is back and ready to go. It's actually been ready for like almost 3 weeks now, but I gotten so used to the YouTube not being active that you know, I wanted to spend some more time focusing on my other social media. So I was like, nah, I'll wait a little bit and I'll be fashionably late, like Goku, right? Everybody's dead and then Goku shows up. Oh boy. But you know, somebody asked me how I felt about the YouTube channel being inactive for over a month. I was streaming on Twitch, and I think it was T-Dot's Finest. I've seen him comment on the channel a couple times. But I think it was him that asked me while I was playing a Resident Evil remake. He asked me how I felt about the YouTube channel being down, and I went on this epic rant about Muhammad Ali and shit and setbacks, and it got lost because the Twitch streams, you know, they just get rid of those after a while. But I'm gonna tell you what I told him. I think it was a very good rant that I went on. But I gotta tell you the story about Muhammad Ali first, to and then we're gonna come full circle. So I'll make it quick. You know, Muhammad Ali, of course, was a boxer of the 60s and 70s, considered one of the greatest boxers of all time. But if you know anything about his life, he was heavyweight champion, but he lost the belt because he refused to go to the Vietnam War. He refused to participate in the Vietnam War due to his religious beliefs. He was a Muslim. So they took his belt, and he couldn't box for 3 years, I think like 3.5 years or so. So he sets the goal for himself. I'm going to become heavyweight champion again, despite this. So after 3.5 years, he gets his boxing license back so he can fight again. Now he starts fighting again, and he's not quite the same fighter. You know, he's aged and he got a lot of ring rust, so he's got to take a lot of tune-up fights to get back in fighting shape and whatnot. So he gets an opportunity at the heavyweight title against Joe Frazier, who is now Joe Frazier has been heavyweight champion while Muhammad Ali was banned from boxing. He fights Joe Frazier and he loses the fight of the century, one of the best boxing matches ever. He loses the fight, boom, setback, major setback. How does he respond to this? He goes on a 10-fight winning streak, like he was fucking possessed. He was fighting dudes left and right, anywhere, hometown, away, like he was getting it. So he's getting closer and closer to getting another title shot. He runs into Kenny Norton. He underestimates Kenny Norton because a lot of people didn't know about Kenny, but Kenny was actually from the same camp as Joe Frazier, and his trainer Eddie Futch. I mean, they were the anti-Ali machine. Kenny Norton ends up defeating Muhammad Ali, broke his jaw in the fight. Setback, big setback. You lost to somebody who was a nobody. You gave this guy clout. That's how bad it was. He got himself in immaculate shape, rematch, Kenny Norton defeats him. Now during this time, George Foreman is rising through the ranks. George Foreman defeats Joe Frazier. I mean, demolished him, knocked him down like 6 times for the referee had to stop the fight. I mean, he demolished Joe Frazier, ran through him like a train. George Foreman also fights Kenny Norton. Beat him like a child, beat Kenny Norton like a dog. So George Foreman is demolishing and destroying, eliminating, deleting the guys that beat Ali, that Ali struggled against. So everybody's like, Ali has no chance against George Foreman. George Foreman is going to kill Ali. So Ali gets a chance to fight George Foreman in the Rumble in the Jungle fight in Africa. Ali defeats George Foreman and becomes heavyweight champion of the world. So why did I tell that story? And the reason is this: when you look at Ali and the goal that he set for himself during exile, that I'm going to be a heavyweight champion again, it wasn't a clear, open path for him. It was not easy. There was setbacks, he moved forward, he went back, and we're just talking about the things on the surface that we know about. We don't know about what he was dealing with on a personal level. He might have had the flu and couldn't train for a month. He might a friend might have died. Who knows? Like the little things he was doing. But we're talking about the fights that he lost that made it harder for him to get the belt, right? This guy, the setbacks he had to deal with, but the resilience that he showed in the face of those setbacks, and how ultimately it led to him achieving his goal of becoming heavyweight champion again. And so when you ask me how I feel about the YouTube channel being inactive for over a month, it's unfortunate, but I'm wise enough to know that when I set a goal for myself to be successful, to be great in life, it's gonna be setbacks. There are gonna be obstacles. Sometimes it's gonna be the fault of my own. It's gonna be internal struggles. Sometimes shit just happens and you gotta deal with it. But my main thought process during this whole time was making sure that I respond to it the right way, because you can't always control outside forces that get in the way of you trying to make progress. And so I made sure that despite the YouTube channel being inactive, I did everything that I could, that I kept myself sharp as a content creator. I kept doing the podcast. I kept doing the Nightwalk vlog, the anime reviews. I was more active on my I was like, what's the opportunity here? What's the angle? If YouTube is inactive, okay, go focus on your other social media. I was uploading more music to Spotify. I was backing everything up on Rumble. I was tweeting more. I was on Instagram. I cleaned up the SoundCloud. I was more active on Patreon. I was doing everything that I could to stay active and to keep moving forward. Even if I couldn't upload or do anything on YouTube, which is pretty much like what the flagship platform for me, I say, you know what? If that's inactive, I'll just keep doing other shit. And so the thing is, like I said, my main goal was to make sure that I responded to it the right way, which is exactly what I did. And even when you look at like musically, I was right. Look at the hour tape. I whipped that up while the YouTube channel was inactive. I had some of the beats already to the side, but I put that together while the YouTube channel wasn't. When have you known me? When have you known me to just like make music like that? Like, even though I'm a rapper, I've always been kind of lazy with it. So, I put out a song like once every 2 or 3 months. I put that shit together like in a month. I put it together in a month. And so I was just making sure that I didn't let it deter me or affect my spirit to the point where I wasn't working as hard. If anything, I used it as fuel to work harder. I processed the emotions of having my YouTube channel inactive and just turned it into positive energy, to make sure I was going harder. And that's exactly what I did. And so now here we are with the YouTube channel back. And the reason why I told the story about Ali is because when you look at the setbacks he had to deal with, what type of man would I be if I complained about my YouTube channel being inactive? If I let that deter me, I have no hope of being a great man in this world. Look at the shit he had to deal with. Look at like, not just Ali, like look at like where 50 Cent is today. But he doesn't get there without getting shot 9 times. He doesn't get there without the beefs and the dramas, having to survive in the streets. Look at any artist, anybody that's successful, and you're gonna see periods in their life where they experience setbacks and failures. But how they responded to it is ultimately what defined them as an artist, as a person. Even looking at it like from an anime perspective, look at a character like Luffy. Look at where he started as just this goofy motherfucker that decided I'm gonna find One Piece. Look at everything he's had to go through with his crew from beginning to where they are now. It's not gonna be a clear, clean road paved in gold for you. The road is gonna be rocky. You're gonna be walking and then the road ends and then you gotta cross a mountain. right? Then a pack of wolves show up. That's life when you want to be successful. Look at Naruto when he decided, I'm going to be Hokage. Look at everything he had to go through from point A of being Naruto the loser to point Z to being fucking Hokage. It was not an easy road. It was not just, oh, I'm just going to walk to Hokage. I mean, look at everything he had to face. Internally, externally, setbacks, friends become enemies, enemies become friends. Like everything that he went, look at Goku. From the day he left home, accompanied with Bulma, to where he is now, fighting with the gods. Whether you want to look at it in terms of like anime, fictional characters, or real life people, when you want to be successful, you have to not only be prepared for setbacks, you have to expect them. So when this whole situation happened, it's like I wasn't really surprised. I felt prepared to deal with it. And I'm very proud of how I responded to it, how I was able to stay focused and keep creating and keep staying active on social media. You know, like I was on Twitch. Remember, when I was on YouTube, I streamed 1 time a week. When I was on Twitch, I'm streaming 3 times a week with less viewers. There were times I'm sitting there by myself, just right, just talking, but I'm still grinding. And that's how you have to be. You can't let anything deter you. You can't let setbacks deter you. And so again, when T-Dot asked me how I felt about it, again, it's unfortunate, but you know, this is nothing compared to what I'm probably gonna have to face in the future as I get closer and closer towards achieving my goals. You know, this is just what comes with it. You know, if anybody remembers, there's a very popular Twitch streamer named Kai Cenat. And, you know, he went through this whole issue where a young lady was allegedly sexually assaulted at one of his parties. And so he was talking about it. And one thing he said stood out to me. He was like, you know, I already know this what comes with it. Right. So he knew as he gets bigger, it's going to be more money, more problems. That's just part of the process. You have to expect it and you got to be prepared for it. And what's ultimately going to be the difference maker between you being a loser or stagnating and becoming great is going to be how you respond to it. Just like what Rocky said in Rocky Balboa, it's not how hard you can hit, it's how hard you can get hit and get back up. And so I want you guys to know this. Even though the YouTube channel is active again, even though it's back up, one thing I've learned is that YouTube don't give a fuck about me. And the core issue isn't really solved. Anybody could still do the exact same thing to my channel. You right now listening could do the same shit. Have you seen the application to file a copyright strike? It's laughable. So it's like, it's cool that it's back up, but I'm not too attached to YouTube. I'm still gonna be all over other social media. I'm gonna still be here, but again, YouTube they don't give a fuck about me, right? But I want you guys, anybody that's a real fan of me, to know this. Nothing is gonna stop me from creating or making music and videos. When I got to upload it to Rumble and get 13 views, when I got to upload it to BitChute, Vimeo, MySpace video, I'll be on sound wherever I gotta go. If I gotta stand on a corner screaming that field with no girlfriend, that's what I'm gonna do, right? So anybody that's a, you know, a true fan of the channel, just know that, you know, I'm gonna always be creating music and creating content for you guys. I was very inspired to see like the people kind of scattered across my social media sites still interacting with me and still being interested in what I was doing, and that kind of helped keep me going the whole time. But yeah, the ship continues to move forward and the drill keeps spinning, baby. It's good to be back. But one more thing, and this is the key though. I know you guys like my music. I know you like the funny stuff, the videos, streams and all that, but I also know you guys appreciate my wisdom and insight. And you know, whether this is the last video you ever see from me or you continue to rock with me, whatever, take this with you. How you respond to setbacks, knowing, expecting, and being prepared for setbacks is going to be critical for your development as a man, as a human, as whatever you want to be. And that's the main reason why I wanted to make this video. You know, this video is really about showing you guys how to deal with setbacks and the importance of how you respond to it. You know, it's good to be back. I'm glad to be here, and I'm gonna have an easy time this month because I got a lot of videos that I made that I've been uploading to Rumble. I could just upload to the YouTube channel, so it's like I can take a week off. So I'll see you guys around, and yeah, it's good to be back. Johnny, gotta throw a Johnny in there.